Ladies and gents, welcome back to the channel. Shout out to all Asian dilemmas. I'm gonna review this video. Thanks for tuning in. Go ahead and subscribe because you're gonna like the future videos I post. A man should never send money to a woman unless he's getting something in return. Yeah, so we're gonna take a look at this 28-year-old in China, and he lost a lot of money, and it's not hard-earned money, it's money he took out in loans.
A 28-year-old young man, learning the hard way that the internet is not a place for innocent people, had an online relationship for 3 years and transferred over $500,000 to his girlfriend. Upon seeing his girlfriend's photos, he felt he had made a great deal, but upon hearing her voice, his heart sank. After that, he went to complain and file a report with the police.
And see, this is the part I don't get. In China, it's a main concept for these guys to run to the police when they get scammed on the internet, versus here in the West, you just asked out. They don't do anything over here if you get scammed. You just have to take it up as a loss. The police aren't going to go out their way to why you got scammed. They're going to tell you that's your fault here. But I guess in other countries, things work different when people are involved in scams.
The young man is named Yu Yong. He is 28 years old.
That's what I can't get over. He's 28 years old. He's not 18. So 28 is not that young. He's almost 30 years old, and you should know better. And that's why OnlyFans is full of suckers. Sending money to women they don't know, or they'll meet up with the highest bidders. Let's not get it twisted. A lot of those OnlyFans girls are working girls because they'll offer sexual services and meet up with their highest bidders. But this is completely different. This man got nothing in return.
And he has been single for many years. As his family was pressuring him to get married and he had no means of meeting girls, he decided to try online dating, following the example of many other guys. Through the Shake feature on a dating app, which allows users to find people by shaking their phones, Yu Yong quickly added a woman with a profile name Everything by...
I ain't found nobody. Oh, there goes somebody. Oh, she a gold digger.
By chance. At first, Yu Yong didn't say much. Although he was single, he wasn't desperate enough to have no standards. He at least needed to see what the person was like. Then, he opened her profile, and with just one look, he became extremely excited.
Love at first sight. I mean, people should know now that don't exist. Love at first sight. Why? At least get to know the person. How do you know you're not compatible?
Everything by chance appeared to be in her early 20s, was seemingly the owner of a clothing store, and had fair skin and a beautiful appearance, especially those to white legs, which looked longer than his own life. At that moment, Yu Yong felt like his heart had been kicked by a donkey. To make matters worse, she had posted on her profile that her parents had fallen ill and passed away in the same year.
And see, usually these scammers on the internet, they use the same excuses over and over. Taking care of a loved one, their mother's sick, blah, blah, blah. It's always the same. Every scammer uses the same tactic almost.
Leaving her alone and unsupported, and that she wanted to find someone to rely on. When Yu Yong read those words, he could no longer contain his emotions and immediately declared his love for Everything by Chance. However, the response he received was, "Why are you so silly? You don't even know my name and you're already declaring your love for me. Don't
That should have been an indicator right there. Stop talking to her.
you think that's a bit foolish?" At that moment, Yu Yong realized he had been impulsive and quickly began to introduce himself. After a few conversations, Yu Yong discovered that her name was Liu Meng. She was only 22 years old, and the two became friends. Liu Meng said that after her parents' death, she needed to work to support herself and take care of elderly relatives. For Yu Yong, Liu Meng was the perfect candidate to be his wife, so he declared his love again. This time, to his surprise, she accepted leaving Yu Yong extremely happy. To please his girlfriend, Yu Yong began to spend money uncontrollably. On occasions like Valentine's Day and Christmas, he would send 1,314 yuan. During traditional festivals like the Dragon Boat Festival and the Mid-Autumn Festival, he sent 520 yuan. For Chinese New Year, he transferred 10,000 yuan, and even during the Qingming Festival, he sent 3,134 yuan, with 1,314 yuan for Liu Meng and the rest for the expenses of her parents' grave. Liu Meng also asked for money for various reasons, such as her nephew passing the entrance exam, her sister having a second child, her grandmother needing to pay for elderly university, or her grandfather needing medical treatment. In short, the reasons varied, and he couldn't doubt the circumstances of her parents.
It's always family issues for excuses that they use when they ask these guys for money. I just don't understand how these guys are quick to fork over money, yet if they don't have a loan to begin with. This guy was using loans to send this girl money. And I'm like, whoa, that's wild.
Right?
他不可能拿了父母生命来开玩笑噻，对吧？他爷爷生病了，住院，这个住院费、医药费要交好多好多，然后他说他没钱的，然后我就信任了，就给他转。
Yu Yong not only didn't mind this, but also took pleasure in being dependent. He even changed his social media signature from "My destiny is mine," not from "Heaven" to "You happy, I happy." You sad, I sad. The two continued like this for 2 years. After 2 years, Yu Yong began to feel dissatisfied with communication only through text and proposed to meet in person to discuss the origin of life.
Now, if this was somebody that he had actually met in life before he started doing all this silly shit, I might be more passive about it, but it's like you have to be a real idiot to do some shit like to fall into a trap like this, especially if you let it go on for 3 years. I could see if it was like 3 weeks or something, but damn, or 3 months, but 3 whole years. So that tells me when guys do shit like this, that tells me they have no options. This was probably the only girl he was talking to that whole time. That's what makes it even more sad. And at 28, if your parents is forcing you to get married to somebody, your parents should be introducing you to people they know with children your age. Well, I shouldn't say children, but daughters your age or sons, whatever. But that's my take on it right there, though. But damn, come on, man.
However, every time he mentioned a meeting, Liu Meng had an excuse, headache, back pain, or anything else. Finally, Yu Yong couldn't take it anymore and gave Liu Meng an ultimatum. Either they meet or they break up. To his surprise, Liu Meng refused again, this time with the excuse that she was menstruating, had hemorrhoids, and due to stress, had developed canker sores.
Damn.
To console Yu Yong, Liu Meng sent a voice message.
That's that cigarette voice. She way older than 22. I bet you that photo he seen was a filtered photo. And let's just keep it real. When you first meet people, a lot of times they're going to lie about their age, especially if they look younger than what they are. So you got 40-year-old women running around telling everybody they're 25 and shit. So that's crazy.
The voice was deep and hoarse, nothing like that of a young woman in her 20s.
See?
He even asked what brand of cigarette she smoked to have such a well-preserved voice. Liu Meng responded with a how boring and explained that she had hurt her tonsils while applying medicine for the canker sores and that her throat was inflamed, which was why her voice sounded deep.
That bitch had gonorrhea. Oh, man.
After that, Liu Meng posted on her profile that she needed throat surgery and was afraid she might not survive, suggesting that she could meet her parents. The tone was dark and sad. Since it wasn't a voice message, Yu Yong lost control again and took out a loan of 4,500 yuan on an online platform to transfer to Liu Meng. After that transfer, Liu Meng completely disappeared. She wouldn't answer voice calls or respond to messages. Yu Yong even thought she might have died on the operating table. After a week of anxious waiting, Yu Yong could no longer endure it and went to the police station to file a complaint.
他比较惊慌，就是我已经交往了3年多的一个女朋友哈，突然间的就消失了，要求我们民警帮助他一下，你说能不能找出这个人出来？
After hearing Yu Yong's story, the police concluded that he had been scammed. After all, how could someone date for 3 years without ever meeting? It didn't make sense. The police then examined Yu Yong's transfer records and discovered that the money had ended up in the account of a person named Zi Fenghui, who was already a suspect in another fraud case. The victim of that case had a story similar to Yu Yong's, but had been deceived for an even longer time. The second case involved a man named Liu Chen, known online as God of the Ruined Temple. He met Liu Meng on the second day of the Chinese New Year, 3 years ago, and had been scammed by her all this time. Since he didn't have a stable source of income, most of the money he transferred to Liu Meng came from small loans. It was only a few days before Liu Meng blocked his WeChat that he realized he had been deceived. The police then connected the two cases and quickly located Zi Fenghui. However, to everyone's surprise, Zi Fenghui was a
Boom! This is a stab in the heart, ladies and gentlemen. Damn. You was talking to somebody's auntie the whole time. I mean, there's 28-year-old dudes that's with 60-year-olds. I mean, for the wrong reasons. She buy you a new Xbox, buy you some new Jordans or something. But damn.
woman nearly 60 years old, with an appearance that had nothing to do with the description of fair and beautiful skin. It was...
Well, it looked like she got a lot of front, so... I mean, she got more package than the girl that she was posing to be. She a meaty one. All right.
Hard to understand how Yu Yong and the others had been fooled. In an attempt to escape blame, the woman started to play the victim.
Whoa. I didn't know if she was crying or was she throwing up. You... Auntie.
The police took her to the station, where they discovered that there were 8 other victims on her phone. After interrogation, the woman confessed to her crimes. Originally, she had come to the city to work, but she started using the shake feature to relieve her loneliness. Since she was very unattractive, no one paid attention to her real photos, so she downloaded pictures of a Korean girl group and began using them as her profile. The result was surprising. Not only did many people start talking to her, but they also sent money in exchange for risk photos. Later, she realized that making money this way was easier than working and decided to dedicate herself to fraud. However, it's astonishing that such a basic scam still works.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of desperate dudes out there. That's why.
Once again, a reminder, online relationships can be fun, but real-life meetings can be a disaster.
And we wrap it up right there because a best friend of mine told me online dating is for hooking up. This pretty much proves my point right here. I mean, if you could even get to the hooking up part without sending money and shit to her. But yeah. I'll catch you on the next video, you guys. Peace.